So, what if I told you that right now, this very second, an invisible object born in the first moments of the universe could be silently zipping through our solar system? And no, we're not talking about aliens. We're talking about something way, way stranger. A primordial black hole. And it turns out the hunt for this invisible intruder is happening right here in our own cosmic backyard.
I know. It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? A black hole just lurking somewhere out there past Mars. But here's the thing. This isn't fiction. A whole new wave of research is taking this incredible idea very, very seriously.
I mean, this quote from one of the lead researchers really sums it all up. It just boils down to a numbers game. If the universe is actually filled with these things, it's not really a question of if one passes through our solar system, it's a question of when.
Okay, now here's the twist, and it's a big one. You gotta forget everything you've seen in the movies. We're not talking about some giant planet-eating monster. The intruders we're actually hunting for, they're microscopic.
All right, so what are these tiny, ancient objects? Well, they've got a name that's just as epic as their origin story. Primordial black holes. And to really understand what they are, we have to rewind the clock way, way back to the very beginning of time.
And here's the crucial point. It's all about where they came from. See, unlike the black holes you usually hear about, these weren't born from the collapse of a giant star. No, these things are relics, actual fossils from the dawn of time itself, forged in the insane chaos right after the Big Bang.
And this is where the scale just gets mind-bending. On one side, you've got your regular stellar black holes. These are giants, the size of a city, with a mass of several suns. But on the other side, you've got our suspects, these primordial black holes, maybe no bigger than an atom, but still packing the mass of a whole asteroid. They're two completely different kinds of cosmic beast.
So, you're probably asking, okay, if they're microscopic and totally invisible, how on Earth could we ever find one? Well, the answer is just brilliant. You don't look for the black hole itself. Instead, you look for the tiny gravitational footprint it leaves behind.
And just how often might we get one of these visitors? Well, if they're as common as some scientists think, new simulations suggest one could pass through the inner solar system, near us and Mars, as often as once every 10 years. They could be regular, invisible visitors, and we'd have no idea.
And this, right here, is the central problem for scientists. You're hunting for an object that is, for all intents and purposes, a ghost. It's totally dark, it barely interacts with anything, it's the ultimate game of cosmic hide-and-seek. So here's the game plan. First, you get incredibly precise data on the orbits of planets, like Mars. You need to know exactly where they are and where they're going. Then, you wait. As one of these primordial black holes zips by, its gravity, even with just the mass of an asteroid, gives that planet a tiny gravitational nudge. This creates a little wobble in its path that wasn't there before. The final step? You comb through decades of data, looking for that one telltale signature.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. A black hole passing near Earth sounds pretty bad. But before you start building a bunker, let's take a deep breath and do a quick reality check.
Here is a key fact about gravity, and it's super important. Gravity only cares about mass, not what the object is. NASA puts it this way. If you could magically replace our sun with a black hole that had the exact same mass, yeah, it would get really cold, but Earth wouldn't get sucked in. Our orbit would stay exactly the same.
So let's just bust a few myths right now. Black holes are not cosmic vacuum cleaners that just suck everything in. You have to get really, really close to be in any danger. And no, they're not gateways to other dimensions. Just having one fly by our solar system is not an immediate threat.
But what about a direct hit? Well, the researchers actually ran the numbers. Their conclusion? Space is, well, it's mostly empty space. Earth is an incredibly tiny target in all that vastness. The chances of a direct hit are just infinitesimally small.
In fact, the real challenge isn't dodging them, it's finding one at all. According to simulations, there's only about a 1% chance of spotting the wobble from a flyby over a 20-year period with our current technology. That's it. It's an incredibly subtle signal, like trying to hear a pin drop in a hurricane.
So, if they're not a threat, and they're almost impossible to find, why on earth are we spending so much time looking for them? Well, because finding just one could help us solve the single biggest mystery in all of cosmology. To get the stakes here, you have to look at the big picture. Everything we can see, every star, every galaxy, you, me, this planet, all of it makes up just 15% of the stuff in the universe. The other 85% is a complete mystery. We call it dark matter, which is really just a placeholder for we know it's there, but we have no idea what it is. And this is where it all comes together. For decades, a very compelling idea has been floating around. What if this missing 85% is just a huge number of these tiny, ancient, primordial black holes? Think about it. They have mass, so they have gravity, but they're invisible. They fit the description of dark matter perfectly.
So detecting that tiny gravitational wobble isn't just about finding some cosmic oddity. It would be the first real, tangible evidence for what dark matter might be. It would be a monumental discovery, one that would fundamentally change our map of what the universe is actually made of.
This whole hunt is just an amazing reminder that the cosmos is so much stranger and more mysterious than we can even imagine. And it leaves you with this final big question. If our own solar system has invisible visitors passing through every decade or so, what other profound secrets are still out there, just hiding in plain sight, waiting for us to discover them?